Okay, moving on to video number 2, we're going to talk about slope-intercept form. And slope-intercept form is written like this: y equals mx plus b. Or if it is written out as a function, you might see it as f of x equals mx plus b. Because remember, f of x is just another way to say y. Okay, so when we have y equals mx plus b, m is our slope, and b is the y-intercept. Okay, so let's look at a couple different ways. Let's just talk about slope for a second. So slope is the constant rate of change between the points. So when you're doing slope, you always want to do rise over run. So up and down first, and then left to right second. So up and to the right is positive, down and to the left is negative. So keep that in mind when you're graphing. So we have 4 types of slope. There are 4 types. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw 4 graphs really quickly here to show you the different types. Okay. And the first type we have is a positive slope. Positive. When we read a slope, we always read left to right like we do a book. So a positive slope is going to start low or start low on the left and go up. So that would be a positive slope. So when we read left to right, we're starting at the bottom and going to the top. So now we have a negative slope. And a negative slope, starting from left to right, will start at the top of the left and go down to the right. So again, left to right is going down. Okay, the next 2, I'm going to go ahead and label our x and y, just because it makes a little bit more sense if we have our x and y labeled here. The next one we're going to sit is undefined. An undefined slope is always going to have a slope that is a vertical slope. So it's always going to go through the x-axis somewhere. So undefined are horizontal, and they go through x-axis. Okay. And then finally we have a zero slope. And a zero slope is a slope that is horizontal. Oh, you know what? I'm totally messed up. This is vertical over here. I want that erased. Hang on. I messed up. Let's try this again. An undefined slope is a vertical, and it goes through the x-axis. I'm sorry about that. And then a zero slope is horizontal. And goes through the y-axis. And we're going to talk a little bit more about undefined and zero slope here towards the end. Okay, so those are the different types of slope. Y equals mx plus b is what we need to focus mostly on right now. Y always has to be by itself. So let's go ahead and try a couple. Okay, so what I like to do, I like to highlight my slope and my b. Okay, again, let's write this out. Y y equals mx plus b. Okay, so my m in this case is 2 over 5. We can also write this as negative 2 over negative 5. And my b is 7. And we are always, always, always start here. So we always plot our b first. So if we start at the origin, right here, to plot our b, which is 7, we're going to go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's our y-intercept. It's on the y-axis at 7. Now we're going to do our slope. Now if you look at this graph, I can't go up 2. So I'm going to go ahead and use this form here. And I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2, and to the left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. Okay. So and actually that's all I'm going to be able to do for this graph. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. Arrows on both sides because a line does not have a start or a stop. It is a continuous line in both directions forever and ever. And that is how we're going to graph that equation. This is a positive slope. From left to right, it's starting at the bottom and going to the top. Okay, let's look at number 8. F of x equals negative x plus 2. Remember, f of x is just another way to say y. So we have y equals negative, and I'm going to put y equals mx. I'm just rewriting it. Y equals mx plus b. Sorry. So let's go ahead and highlight our slope, highlight our y-intercept, and m equals negative 1. We can pretend there's a 1 there. Or negative 1 over 1, or 1 over negative 1. B is plus 2. So B is our y-intercept. We start here. And we're going to put our y-intercept at 2. So starting at the origin, we're going to go up 2. So starting here, 1, 2. And there's our y-intercept. And then we're going to go ahead and do our slope. So remember, rise over run, up and down first, and then left to right. I'm going to go down 1, to the right 1, down to the right, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. Or I can go from our y-intercept, I can go up 1, left 1. Up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1, all the way through the graph. Just go ahead and do both sides here. And we can go ahead and, my line got way off there. You guys should be able to make a straight line in Notability. I'm using a different program, so it doesn't make a straight line. Okay, let's look at number 9. Number 9, when we write it out, y equals mx plus b, you can see that our x is not where it needs to be, and our y has a 3 in front of it. So we need to do a little bit of rearranging before we can graph this equation. So we're going to go ahead and move our x. Let's move our x to the other side where it's supposed to go. And we're just going to do that like we would in any other equation. We're just going to subtract it from both sides. Okay. That'll cancel out here. And over here, now we have 3y equals negative x minus 15. We cannot combine negative 15 and negative x because they do not have the same variable, so they are not like terms, so we're just going to put them next to each other. Okay, so the next problem we have is that there's a 3 in front of the y. We have to get y by itself in order for it to be in slope-intercept form. So we are going to go ahead, and the 3 and the y are being multiplied right now. And how do we undo multiplication? We divide. So we're going to divide every term by 3. That will cancel out here. So now we're going to have y equals, remember we can put a 1 here. We're just going to leave it as a fraction. Negative 1 over 3x. And negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. So now we're ready to go. Again, I like to pull out my m. And my m here is negative 1 over 3 or 1 over negative 3. Either way. And my b is negative 5. Always start with our b. And we're going to go ahead and go starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. And now let's do our slope, which is negative 1, down 1, over 3. 1, 2, 3. Down 1, over 3. Or we can go up 1, to the left 3. Up 1, to the left 3. And there's that one. Okay. All right, one more. Let's do this last one. So let's, couple things. Y equals mx plus b. Not in the right order. So let's go ahead and move our b. We need to get our b where it needs to go. So we're going to move it. And we're going to do that by adding 1 to both sides. Now we have 4x plus y equals 1. Now we need to take care of our m. And we're going to move our m by subtracting 4x to both sides, minus 4x. Now we have y equals. We cannot combine the 1 and the negative 4x because they are not like terms. So we're just going to bring them straight down. We have negative 4x plus 1. Okay, and then let's put our m and our b. I'm running out of time. M and b. Our m is negative 4 over 1 or 4 over negative 1. And our b is 1. Okay, so we're going to put our b here and plot our m. We're going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. I can't go up any higher, so I'm going to come back to my y-intercept, and I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the left 1. Looks like I can do it maybe one more time here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there. Okay. There we go. We're going to come back to vertical and horizontal lines tomorrow or on the next video. Okay. There we go. Let me know if you have any questions. Please send me a message. Oh, I'm sorry. If you look back at 8, 9, and 10, those are all negative slopes.